Hey everyone, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. And yes, it has been quite a long time since you've seen a video from me uploaded onto this channel. And most of you know that I have just been taking a break, a pretty lengthy break, but I feel that I am ready to come back. I've been missing this community and I have been missing uploading videos. So yeah, I thought I'd come back with a nice stack of movies to show you guys for a bit of an update. This is kind of a double whammy because I'm going to be not only showing some films that I've purchased recently, but I received an awesome prize package from the one and only Brad from Bronco Juggalo. But before we get into everything, I'm just wanting to thank everyone that's reached out to me, whether it be via comments under videos or on a more personal level via email, just to check up and see how I'm doing. It definitely means a lot to me, so thank you so much. And I'm doing fine. Nothing bad has happened. I was just simply getting a little bit burnt out and overwhelmed with not only the amount of videos that I was uploading, but keeping up with everyone's videos as well, and I just simply needed a break. But I feel that I'm ready to make a return. But yeah, just to everyone that's reached out to me to see how I was going, thank you so much. It definitely means a lot. Also, before I get into the main part of this video, I'm just wanting to give a couple of quick shout outs to two people within the community. We have David from DT Into Horror. I've known David for quite a while. He's part of the VC, the vinyl or music community, but he's recently started a horror channel, which is awesome, and he's already uploaded some fantastic videos. So if you're not already subscribed to David's channel, I'll leave a link to that in the description box below, so please check him out. He is really, really awesome. The next person that I want to give a quick shout out to is to a really good friend of mine, Al. You guys know him from Kaiju Shorts. However, he has a second channel which is more focused on movies and martial arts and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And I definitely feel that he needs more subscribers. So that channel is Them Fighting Words. So definitely check out our second channel, Them Fighting Words, if you haven't already. And I'll also be leaving a link to that in the description box below. And Al, if you're watching this video, I just want to thank you so much. You've been a really, really good friend and support network for me recently. So yeah, I really, really appreciate that a lot. But anyway, enough of the sappy stuff. Let's move on to the update. So you guys all know the one and only Brad, Bronco Juggalo. And Brad, I hope you're doing well at the moment. And yeah, I won his prize or his contest ages ago, and yeah, I received the prize package recently. With all the COVID stuff like that, I wasn't surprised that it took a while, so that's fine. But yeah, it did arrive, and Brad sent me a t-shirt, which is awesome. I'm wearing it right now. It's the Bronco Juggalo Movies Chucky shirt, which is really, really cool. So Brad, thank you so much for that. And he also sent me some films as well, which is cool. Now I do own some of them, but there's a few here that I don't, so that's really, really cool. So the first one we have from Brad is Goodfellas. The next one, which I'm assuming is Wild Eye, The Vector Pastor. The next few I already own, but they are awesome films. We have Victor Crowley on Blu-ray. This movie is awesome. The fourth entry into the Hatchet franchise, and yeah, it's really, really good. The House on the Left remake, which is a really, really solid remake. This movie is awesome. Strangers Prey at Night. And this is really, really cool. The Friday the 13th DVD collection box set. obviously I already own these films multiple times in fact, but I love this franchise, who doesn't? So I'm not going to complain about having another box set added to my collection, and I didn't own this specific set, so that's really, really cool. So Brad, once again, thank you for the shirt and for the films. I really, really appreciate it. Anyway, let's move on to what I have picked up and what I've been watching recently. So, got a nice stack of films here. JB HiFi, I've mentioned them before, but if you guys don't know, they are basically a movie store. They sell other stuff as well, like electronics. They're basically the Aussie equivalent to Best Buy, I guess. They had a sale. They had a buy two get one free sale, which I believe is still running. And then they also had a 20% off sale a week or so ago, which was really, really good because both of those offers combined, I did pretty well. So yeah, some of these were first time purchases and watches for me, and some of them were upgrades. So yeah, first up we have an upgrade to 4K, and that's the War of the Worlds remake. I like this one. It's been quite a few years since I've seen it, but this is a really, really good movie, so happy to upgrade this to 4K. The next one I definitely had to get. Finally got in the 4K of Jaws. Obviously I've seen this movie multiple times, who hasn't, and it's an awesome film, an absolute classic, but I still haven't got around to watching this one on 4K, but I'm definitely going to be doing so pretty soon. I might actually save it till the summertime actually and watch it then, but I've heard fantastic things about the transfer, so yeah, just stoked to have another classic horror movie on the 4K format. It's really, really cool. So that's Jaws. The next one, I don't believe I'd ever seen this one before until fairly recently, and that's The Dish, starring Sam Neill. This is a fantastic Australian film, and this one was really, really good. It sort of blended in the true story drama elements surrounding the recordings of the Apollo 11 moon landing with really, really good classic Aussie humour comedy. Yeah, this movie was great. I definitely highly recommend this one if you haven't seen it and you are a fan of Australian cinema. This is definitely a must watch. So yeah, like I said, I don't think I'd ever seen this one before, but I'm a massive fan of anything to do with NASA, the moon landing, space launches, Apollo, anything like that. And I actually had no idea that Australia had such a significant role in the recordings of the moon landing, which was pretty cool. So if you're not too familiar with that, basically this is based on a true story, and it's set down in Parkes, which is a small rural town in New South Wales, kind of west of Sydney, and they have a large dish there, which basically they use to help capture and record the Apollo 11 moon landing. The dish is still there apparently, still in use, so that is really, really awesome. A great piece of Australian and space history. But yeah, this movie, like I said, it was awesome. Loved this one, so I definitely recommend it. That is The Dish. And keeping on with that type of theme, we have First Man on Blu-ray. So this basically depicts the moon landing as well, which is really, really cool. I haven't watched this one yet, but I've heard pretty good things about it, so looking forward to checking this one out. The next one we have here is Vivarium, sorry. I haven't watched this one yet, but I actually haven't really heard a lot about this one, but from the couple of people that I have heard things about, they really, really enjoyed this. I know Kevin from Art of Horror definitely raved about this one a lot, and it sounds really, really good. It sounds pretty unique. It's about a young couple who basically purchase a house in this particular neighborhood where everything's the same, all the houses are the same, and basically there's no escape from this house or their surroundings, and apparently things get rather weird. So definitely looking forward to checking this one out. It sounds pretty unique. So that is Vivarium. If you've seen this one, please let me know what you think of it in the comments. The next one I still haven't got around to watching either, but I had to pick up this one, and that is Scream Queen. So this is obviously centered around Mark Patton, who starred in Elm Street Part 2. This is definitely going to be very, very interesting for me to check out, because as a gay man myself, I think I'm definitely going to find this one very, very interesting, and it might help me appreciate Elm Street Part 2 a little bit more. I don't hate the movie, I think it's good, but yeah, this may help me have a little bit of a higher regard for that film. But with that being said though, still haven't got around to checking this one out, and I haven't really heard a lot about this documentary either, but it should be interesting. So yeah, if anyone has seen this one, please let me know what you think of it. Okay, and moving on. Next up we have The Shed. This movie was awesome. I definitely highly recommend this one, especially if you are looking for something a little bit different when it comes to the vampire genre. I thought this movie was extremely well done, not only on a vampire standpoint, but just from the overall film as well. The characters were really, really good. It definitely felt pretty relatable. I liked the kind of mundane setting and tone this movie had, and yeah, like I said, really, really good characters and a pretty interesting take on the vampire genre. So definitely highly recommend this one. That is The Shed. The next one we have here is Blood Vessel, and while I thought this was really, really good, I will say I didn't think it was quite as awesome as I was actually hoping it would be. While it's different, it kind of has similarities to Overlord, because this one is basically a war-themed horror film, and I really, really liked that aspect of the film actually quite a lot. Basically this one is about a group of various army people from World War II, and they are stuck on a life raft. Their hospital ship that they were all on has been torpedoed, so yeah, they're stuck on this raft in the middle of the ocean, and they come across a German warship. They end up going on board, they investigate the ship, and there's no one there, there's no survivors. They find a bunch of dead bodies, but there's no survivors that they can see initially. And long story short, it basically turns out that there's some vampires on board that have killed the German soldiers. So I really, really liked the setting of this film. The boat looked awesome. The film had some absolutely fantastic atmosphere, and there was some really, really good build up to the story. The story and the whole sort of lore behind the vampires was done really, really well, and it was done differently too, which I really, really enjoyed. However, it was a little slow going in parts, and some of the characters I found a little bit annoying. One of my major pet peeves when it comes to films is people's accents, and especially with Australian cinema. So this one, it was filmed over here in Australia, down in Melbourne and Williamstown actually, and there's a few Australian actors in this who put on voices from foreign countries, and I really don't like that. It was pretty obvious. Some of the dialogue and some of the accents were very, very iffy at times, and it just kind of got on my nerves, especially the character of Miss Prescott. her accent was pretty bad at times, all over the place, and didn't really work for me. I would have much rather preferred if they'd had just Australian actors in this. There were a couple of Americans who played Americans. That was fine, but if they just had those and then the Australians playing the Australians, it would have been a lot better for me. Yeah, that is a major pet peeve that I have, especially when it comes to Australian cinema. It's almost like they're embarrassed to have Australians play native Australians, which is kind of weird to me. Nathan Phillips, who is an Aussie, he was in this, and he did play an Australian army soldier. He was fantastic. He was definitely the best character. But with that being said though, this wasn't bad. I would definitely still recommend it. The setting, like I said, on the boat was fantastic, and I did appreciate the storyline and the vampire lore within this film as well. So that's Blood Vessel. The next one we have here is a double feature from Umbrella Entertainment, and it is First Men in the Moon and 20 Million Miles to Earth. I haven't checked these movies out yet, but definitely looking forward to doing so. The next one we have here is The Hunt. This got a lot of hype a couple of months ago, and I was pretty late picking this one up. I only recently got it, obviously, and I have watched this and I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it quite lives up to the hype that a lot of other people had put this movie on, but yeah, it was pretty good. I will say though, the main issue that I had with this movie was definitely the main character of Crystal. Don't get me wrong, I liked her character, she was really, really good, but I just felt she had it way too easy. There was no real challenge for her throughout the entire film, and that really, really bothered me. She almost knew the game and the situation a little bit too well, I thought. And I didn't really appreciate a lot of the satire within this film either, especially the kind of ending showdown between Crystal and the main villain within the film. I thought it was a little bit silly, but I don't know, for what it was pretty good, but nothing amazing. The next one we have here is an upgrade for me, that is Creepshow. This is the Umbrella Entertainment Blu-ray. It's been years since I've seen this one, so this definitely needs a rewatch very, very soon. And last, but certainly not least, for this update, we have The Lodge. I've saved my personal favourite film from this update till last. This movie is phenomenal. It is absolutely fantastic, and if you have not seen this one yet, it's only come out recently, but yeah, this movie is phenomenal. I'm not really going to talk too much about it because it is very, very hard to talk about without giving everything away, and it's best to go into this movie knowing pretty much next to nothing about it and just letting the experience play out for you, because it is certainly an experience. There's a lot of twists and turns. There are a lot of things that I personally did not see coming. It's extremely creepy. It's pretty scary. The acting is fantastic, and the atmosphere and the location within the lodge or cabin is fantastic. And it's also all set within a wintry setting, which just makes it even better. It kind of reminded me a little bit of The Shining, a little bit too, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, this movie, absolutely fantastic. It's a pretty slow burn, but it's definitely well worth the payoff at the end, and it'll definitely leave you thinking long after this movie stops. It's psychological, it's a bit of a mind fuck as well, and yeah, it is just absolutely fantastic. I know a few people from the horror community that mentioned this film to me and definitely highly recommended it, and they're not wrong. This movie, absolutely fantastic, phenomenal film. I cannot recommend The Lodge enough. Go out there and check this one out. One of the best sort of thinking man's horror films or psychological horror films that I have seen in a really, really long time. So that is it, guys. That is it for this video. Please let me know in the comments what you think of the movies that I've shown, and if you've seen any of their films that I showed that I haven't seen yet. Once again, please let me know your thoughts on them. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope everyone is staying well and safe out there. Once again, Brad, thank you so much for the prize package. I really, really appreciate it a lot. A lot of awesome stuff. And yeah, that's it for this video. So I hope everyone has enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.